what do you think of the whole Narcos media culture, the way that Pablo Escobar has kind of become this pop culture icon? What do you think Colombians think about it? How do you feel when you see those sort of depictions in the media?
Well, um, that's also an incredible thing. It's absolute nonsense. But well, I'm not very into watching that kind of shows. I don't like very much. I've been like getting away a lot of violence programs and series that show that kind of stuff. And also, I, I mean, maybe it's because I'm Colombian and because I'm not very fun with that. But I never watch any kind of show that involves drugs or violence from my country. I mean,
Hmm.
I've had enough living here, like to want to watch a whole series about Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
It's not in my interest. So, so I think it's incredible that this guy has become, like you said, the pop culture icon. There are now like I don't know, maybe 5 series, maybe 10 movies. Um, there's like maybe 3 soap shows. Soap shows? What's the name for that?
Soap opera, series, something like that.
Yeah, well, there are many, many, many different products around him, and they sell so well. I believe that they just keep coming. And like I said, for me, it's not something I enjoy. I've never seen one of them. I'm not interested in them. But I think the regular Colombian enjoy them too, because everyone has seen them and they talk about it. And well, it's like something like you said, is pop culture now. Mm,
Do people in Colombia get offended when you bring up Pablo Escobar? Do they not care? How do people feel about it?
um, maybe not Pablo Escobar like the character himself. I think it's more when you bring the cocaine issue uh, as a joke. I mean, for us, it's not joke. We live in a very serious situation here because of that, and I think for nobody is funny to make a joke about that. There are many people that have died because of that. Many people live tremendous um, uh, tremendous life stories
Hmm.
because of that. And drug dealing is not a joke for us, I would say. It's a shame, actually. I see the way I see it that we are known more because of drug dealing than because of our beautiful landscapes or our fruits or our happy people. I don't know. There are many good reasons to love my country, and it's not very fun when people make jokes about drugs and that, oh, you make the finest cocaine in the world. Well, nice for you if you like it. I don't know. It's not something I'm proud of, and it's a very serious issue. It's a very serious subject to be treated like just as a joke.
Yeah. I it Pablo Escobar has a fascinating story, and I think what resonates with so many people and why all these studios keep making films and series about him is because violence and drugs and a lot of times the most negative things will sell. It's much easier to sell something when you're causing controversy than when you're making things that are more in a positive light. And then you also have this the spinning of the story where yeah, you are turning his life into a movie. You're taking a story which is a guy who came from, didn't have a lot and then made billions and billions of dollars, maybe trillions of dollars, because no one really knows how much money he had. So I think people resonate with that desire where everyone wants to come from nothing and make everything. And people that come from nothing will see that and say, he did terrible things to get there, but I respect the heights that he was able to reach. But what doesn't get depicted in a lot of films and Narcos and those series is the point of view from the average Colombian that was going through that time with Pablo Escobar, where he was murdering thousands of people, killing police officers, bribing everybody, blowing up planes and buildings just to get back at someone, and the destruction that the Medellin cartel and the effect that the Medellin cartel had and still has, because that's part of the stereotype of Colombia. And a part of the reason why I wanted to record the podcast is because as an American, the only thing that I have to give me a perspective of Colombia, because I'm not actually living there, is the way that people are portraying Colombia in things like movies or articles or TV series. And so a big part of my experience of going to Colombia was me realizing how much safer a country it is than what's actually portrayed in the media. And how beautiful Colombia is, the beautiful beaches, beautiful coffee farms, mountains. The people are amazing to talk to. If you know a little bit of Spanish, it helps you go a long way. And I felt for 95+% of the time, as long as you are being smart and having a plan, Colombia did not seem, I didn't feel unsafe when I was there. I felt like as long as I was, not walking around alone in sketchy parts of Bogota or Santa Marta at night, as long as I was being smart about calling cabs, that really, there are a lot of parts of Colombia that are the same as going through Manhattan, New York City. You don't be an idiot, be smart about what you're carrying on you. Don't try to stand out, and you will have a wonderful time and explore some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So some of the most beautiful places, beautiful hikes in the world. And I, because I had that preconception of danger, which a lot of it is left over from the 1980s and 90s, a big aspect of the trip was me realizing, yes, Colombia has its own dangerous parts. Yes, there's still aspects of the cartel there, but there are ways in which you can have an amazing time in Colombia and be truly safe with the way that you travel.
Right. Yeah, I think it's safer now overall, but yeah, well, like every place, you need to be smart, like you say. But it is now much. There is now much more good publicity of our country, I think, abroad.
Mm-hmm.
That there was used to be, like some years ago, only the news outside Colombia were only kidnappings and killings and bombs. Well, that was like the things they showed, but now it's like we're getting open to a whole new era of tourism and of people coming and getting to know the country, the people. And for what I've heard and for what I've spoken to other people, they always leave very happy of their experience and what they've seen, uh, what they've lived here. Mm. Actually, about that, you were saying of Paulo is like the people used to love him also. I mean, that's what I know because I was a little boy at that time. But he was also kind of a beloved person in Medellin because he used to give houses to people. He used to give money to people. I mean, he would just go to a street and start giving money to everyone. So that kind of person makes himself loved, right?
Yeah, he had a very mixed relationship with the public because he was making people unsafe with murder and bribery and corruption, and at the same time he was handing out millions of dollars to build new infrastructure, new playgrounds. And I imagine, I imagine people were confused on how to feel, and he probably would have stayed alive for a lot longer if he didn't kill people, if he didn't cause so much destruction through taking people's lives and blowing shit up. And he was only dealing drugs, he probably could have lasted a lot longer. Maybe would be alive today. It was when he started venturing down a super dark path that I imagine the Colombian government started to push back and said, this guy can't do this anymore.